What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Skady. His opponent today, in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Socrates. Socrates the Great, Socrates the Wise, Socrates the Philosopher. Who is Socrates, you ask? A Greek philosopher is the only real answer I can give. Now, this is one of a few different types of Smurfs. It could be anyone. And I think if you really wanted to do a deep dive into working out exactly who this player was, you could potentially do so. I don't believe this player is a player who's come back to Age of Mythology. I believe this is a player who is currently a relatively high-level player, but is tampering with gods that is not their main. I think that's the case, but regardless, I think this guy's been playing on this account for long enough that I'm like, all right, let's watch some of his games. So, Set versus Odin. Odin free win is Skady's pet phrase. He loves saying that Norse is just the best god and that Norse is free win. You just have to pick Norse and you win is the general, the gist of what Skady says in Twitch chat. As the hyena spots Ulfsark being a little bit naughty over there. And Skady spots a priest being very, very safe and sound. I like this from Socrates. He finds his hippo, converts his hippo, and then he leaves his hippo on the priest so that he is very safe. This is one of the most annoying things as a Set player. And it's really unfair. Let's say this much. It's really unfair that my opponent has a unit which can kill my scout in the early stages of the game. Now, you might say, that's just the way that the game goes. There's a whole bunch of unfair things. And I say, you know what? You're right. There are a whole bunch of unfair things. As now the priest has been pushed off here. I do think he probably could have finished off this. He probably could have finished off this this hippo and stayed alive. But we see a villager coming over for Socrates to push this one back. And now Skady is going to have to think about leaving this position, as the priest does live and lives all is good. However, back to my rant. I have a dream that everyone gets to scout the map equally. That's my dream. It's a very, 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 very shallow dream. A very, very basic dream, but that's my dream.
Greek.
I just want to scout the map. And Socrates here, he's pushed back into his main base. At least he still gets to convert some animals here. He probably could have gotten away with just converting all of these hippos in the start instead of being greedy up on this position, but he gets back and he's completely fine here. We do see a temple coming up. Skady going to be advancing very, very late in this game because he used both of his Ulfsarks to harass that priest over here. So after all is said and done, at least in this specific game, Skady has put himself slightly behind because of his early game shenanigans. Whereas if you're playing Greek, you don't get put behind at all for using your scout as a weapon for justice. I don't know. I think it's unfair that the priest can take hunt. Well, as I said, many unfair things in the game, but what's unfair is that if one person's major god bonus is not allowed to be enjoyed, that's unfair. Whereas everyone else's gets their major god bonus enjoyed. I'm gonna live by this mantra that your major god bonus should be something that you can enjoy in every single game. As we do see a vision here, Socrates going for the early game shifting sand strategy. Will the villager make it into the sentry tower? No, it does not. One villager kill here. Not the biggest of deals, but Skady, he is in a world of pain here as he loses his Ulfsark, and now Socrates is delivering something that is equally unfair. As he pushes in, Skady's villagers very much in pain here. And I think that Skady is going to have to get himself watchtowers or something here, as a dwarf here almost does get killed. Socrates in an incredibly strong position right now, as the Ursa coming over here, going to push these units away. That being said, had Skady not gone for that early game pressure onto that priest, he would have been able to defend this very, very simply. Just by being in the classical age with a handful of priests. Ursa. As these units get pushed back, Forest Fire getting dropped down. It's going to push the priest off to the side just a little bit before they continue to retreat away. We'll see if Skady wants to micro this a little bit and deal with this here. As those priests getting taken down and all the good stuff. We do see a town center coming down for Socrates as well, as the Valkyrie is going to be getting sent over there. And the return damage has been done. In other words, the retribution damage. As now whose Hammer of Justice is taking part in this game. Socrates here in a very, very weird position, in all honesty. He's got 0 food. I don't think he's been producing villagers here. Is he still building priest? I'm not sure what's happening. As the villagers do start up. Skady on this position, getting himself the ox cart out. Units pushing forward. Sometimes you put forth an argument, like, I wish that I could utilize my god bonus in the game. And then other people say, this god doesn't get, and I say, which god bonus are you not enjoying? Got to be specific if you want me to have a conversation about it. Otherwise, I just go, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's all good. Skady getting his town center on the front here. I love this town center. Secures all of this position here really, really nicely. This hunt is fantastic for Skady, and he's going to really enjoy this position. Socrates, on the other hand here, barracks coming up on this position as we see more priests converting animals. And here's the thing that I think that set players can rejoice in. It's the fact that they can come and get these animal conversions in the classical age and really, really bolster their army. You might not think these boars are very useful, but if you get yourself early feral and have these boars for your army, can be really, really strong. And we'll see if that's the case here for Socrates, or if he's just going to use them to eat safe hunt, as we see a monument coming up on this position as well. As the town center here coming through. Walls coming up on this position as well. And Skady searching around. Now, the big question is, where to next? Now, I've been seeing a lot of Norse players favoring sort of a fast heroic off of 2 town centers against the 2 town center Egyptian play. But Skady here is going for the aggression. Does manage to snipe 1 spearman, 2 spearmen, 3 spearmen. The village is getting pulled off of the hunt here straight away. This spearman is still alive on the back here, and Skady has to retreat back as Socrates' angry laborers coming through. Get him. We all played the campaign. We know the power of the boar. That's true. The power of the boar. The boars are too fierce. Run for the tower. If you don't get that line, you're not a true Age of Mythology fan. Socrates, at this point, walls coming up over there. Getting himself out. The spearman, another barracks coming up on this position here. As he will motor ahead. Skady getting himself some more villagers out. We do see the raiding cavalry. Throwing axemen coming in here. As Skady pushes through. Or tries to push through. But the priest and Pharaoh a little bit too scary for him at this point. And the big question is, will Socrates ever be able to get himself into a position that he can push out and enjoy this classical age that he's going for? He's got a lot of gold in the bank. Not really the most useful thing at this point. He really needs more barracks out and more food income here as the Pharaoh does manage to almost snipe down that Valkyrie there. 28 HP remaining, and it does end up going down. As the unit's pushing forward, and Skady's throwing Axeman there. Excuse me. Skady's throwing Axeman there. Still getting max value in these fights, as I think Socrates could really do with getting himself some slingers here. But look at this macro here from Skady. Perfectly keeping those resources super low, spending them beautifully. He's getting himself medium infantry as well. More throwing Axemen's coming through, or Axemen coming through here. As Socrates, he's only got 3 villagers on wood. And, I mean, as soon as I see throwing Axemen for my opponent, I'm thinking, all right, I need slingers. Priests don't cut it against the throwing Axemen. The throwing Axemen are actually really, really strong until slingers come through. And then the slingers completely destroy this. We're seeing Ulfsark swarming this fight here as well. I love that idea from Skady. Idea being that the Ulfsark got really high damage and can take out these villagers really nicely, as opposed to continuing to spam out raiding cavalry, which don't have that much value. As we do see now some slingers coming in, and Socrates in 10 minutes gets run over even after that max value shifting sands came in. And Skady just says, you know what? It doesn't matter that you picked off 2 villagers in the early game with that shifting sands. You've still got to macro well. You still got to produce the units correctly and defend yourself. Otherwise, life is going to be really, really hard. This early shifting sands thing, as much as Norse players want to whine about it, I don't think it's that good. You got to think about the amount of resources that it costs to utilize a Pharaoh on the front here before it gets back. Let's take a little gander at the post game here. Civilian unit count. We see villagers. We see the advance time at 4:07, and at 4:30, we see 1 villager out, and the villagers kind of flatline here at 5:30. I don't know exactly why that was. That was a big mistake. But let's just say, for example, that Pharaoh was AFK until the 6-minute mark. I don't know exactly how long it was AFK, but that's 2 minutes. 2 minutes of empowerment on, I don't know, let's just say 8 villagers. That's every 10 seconds or so. That's 3 resources per villager. So 3 times 8 every 10 seconds. 3 times 8. So you're getting 24 resources every 10 seconds. Times that by 120, which is 2 minutes. That's not right. 24 times, oh, sorry, not 120. It's every 10 seconds. So 12. Times that by 12. It's 288. 288 resources you're losing to push forward. Plus you're losing the priests as well, because they got picked off on the front because they're going to get chased down by the Herser and whatnot. So you lose those out, and your town center comes up later because you're not empowering that as well. So lots of problems with this, lots of weaknesses to this early game shifting sands play. I don't know if it's the way to go here. I know Norse players complain about it, but I think you should be happy if the set player does this and you only lose a handful, 1 or 2 villagers and a handful of seconds of idle time, because it's just not, it just doesn't work out that well. Skady defends it beautifully. If you enjoyed this game and enjoyed the analysis, do consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.